There are only two antidotes to the problem of the undisciplined pursuit of more. Only two. Period. One is failure. Yes. And this, in fact, as it turns out, is the primary antidote to the undisciplined pursuit of more. Absolutely true. British Empire. Yeah, right. Just as one early experience that sort of somehow taught me that more might not be the very key. So failure simplifies things. Yeah, that's true, right? If a company fails, we just heard of a story, right, from Elizabeth, went up to 150 people, starts to fail, goes back to 8, right? Failure simplifies things. In fact, if things start to fail, everyone goes, okay, hold on. You think about this in the military. Is it not true? You start pursuing something, it all starts to fail. Everyone goes, okay, war room mentality, let's get into it. What is the critical commander's intent? What's the single thing we really have to do here? And suddenly all the other things we're doing can just be eliminated to focus on the key mission. Failure simplifies, yes. That's one alternative path. Now, on the idea that we don't want to take that path to simplicity, what's the alternative? There's only one other, and this is the disciplined pursuit of less but better. Yeah. A leader can become more selective than they have to be. More selective than they have to be. See, more selective than their market is asking them to be, than their customers are asking them to be, than your boss is asking you to be. You have to be more selective than you're being required to be. Because as soon as you're waiting until someone's telling you, as soon as you're waiting until your customers are going, oh my goodness, this is a mess, you're already failing. And it's failure that's teaching you. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to simplify before you have to. The language for this is you have to become an essentialist. Become an essentialist. Before you have to be. Everybody's an essentialist when failure sets in. Every turnaround you can name grows out of focus on the few things that will be necessary for survival. Every single one of them. The key is to have that mindset, that leadership ability, that orientation before you have to do it. That's the key. And that's what makes it hard. To learn how to be successful at success is a unique leadership approach. Even the things that get you to success are not the same things that will help you to be successful at success. But let me give you an illustration of this. Somebody else in transition. This is a leader who's doing superb work in one organization, then leaves it and moves to a different organization that turned out to be more bureaucratic than the one he'd come from. But really it was in the transition that an idea stepped in that turned out to be a problem. The idea was, I want to be a good citizen of the new organization. I want to be a good team player. All of that also sounds right, doesn't it? That's the right idea. And how he translated that was, I'm going to say yes to pretty much everyone without really thinking about it too much. So if I'm invited to a meeting in the new company, I'm going to say yes. And that's what he did. And if there's an email chain, he wants to comment on the email chain and so on. And this is what he notices. It'll be hard with the microphone in my hand here, but you'll see. His stress is just going up, right? That's a problem. And the quality of his work is just going down. That's a gap. That's a problem, isn't it? Well, the problem gets so severe, he thinks, maybe I should leave this organization. This is just not working. I'm not making a contribution anymore. And then he gets the insight. Actually, somebody inside the organization gives it to him. They say, look, what you have to do is you've got to retire, enroll. Retire, enroll. That's a bit different than saying stay, quit, and don't tell anybody. That's not good. Retire, enroll, what does it mean? It means being so selective, being so thoughtful. Just because someone invites me, he said that, just because someone invited me to a meeting didn't seem like a good enough reason anymore for going. He became more selective, thoughtful. What's the very best use of me? How can I create serious value for the organization, not just do what everyone else is doing? He started pushing back a little bit, negotiating more at work. And this is what happened after a few months of experiment. He got fired. He didn't get fired, actually. But it would change the tenor of our conversation. If, in fact, that is what happened to him. Here's what happened. He said, first of all, he says, personally, I got my life back. I got my life back at home. I was able to go to the gym every night, go to eat with my wife at night, and so on. I got my life back.